As Square was gearing up to tear apart the rulebook once more with the 8th Final Fantasy game, another installment started development at the same time which, ironically, would do the exact opposite. Made as a back-to-roots tribute to the series' past, Final Fantasy IX would return to a more traditional setting of medieval castles and green rolling hills, all with a little extra sparkle thanks to the PlayStation. The end result is one of the best entries in the series, offering a rose-tinted look at what made Final Fantasy great, with an engrossing world, an enjoyable narrative, and excellent combat. It's a must for both fans of the genre and series veterans alike, mixing the best of both worlds when it comes to this acclaimed series. Zidane is a roguish thief who, along with his Tantalus comrades, has a heart of gold. Tantalus performs a heist to kidnap Princess Garnet, daughter of Queen Brahne, a once benevolent queen who has begun using magic to terrorise other kingdoms, but things very quickly turn chaotic. What follows is a lengthy story, with a myriad of interesting subplots simmering beneath the surface. Likeable cast members are full of character, with few unlikable rearing their head. Highlights include the tragic backstory of Vivi the Black Mage, who deals with internal conflict, the bumbling Knight Steiner, whose sense of knighthood clashes with Zidane's criminal activity to hilarious effect, and Garnet, whose journey from uninitiated princess to hardened fighter is engaging. Exploration of themes like political standing, loss, and war are done incredibly well, making for a narrative success. Final Fantasy IX is a return to basics, stripping away the sci-fi setting integral to the previous two games in favour of a more traditional medieval setting, more commonly associated with the first 6 installments. The modern coat of paint, thanks to incredible pre-rendered backgrounds, adds a new layer to this. Gorgeous castles feel ripped from a storybook, the light sprinklings of Norse and European flavourings gifting the world a distinct flavour. From ancient ruins that house summoners and their eidolons, to the bustling district of Treno, which houses both sides of the economic divide, each location feels distinctive and backed by wonderful music. The world map is rather expansive too, featuring optional locales, including a hidden series of marshes housing large frog eaters, an island boasting tough yams to farm XP, and a town hidden by a sandstorm. The slowly expanding world map proves one of the series' most diverse and best. Just seeing the older style Final Fantasy with modern graphics is a treat, but it also proves well developed. But Final Fantasy IX does not rely solely on past glories. Combat utilises the active time system, which debuted in Final Fantasy IV, but new twists make it perhaps the most enjoyable since 7's materia system. A meter dictates each character's turn, allowing you to attack, perform special moves, and use items. Enemies, though not visible in combat, are too governed by this. Characters each specialise in different fields, ranging from combat to offensive and defensive magics. Levelling up is still key, but more important is abilities, which are learned through equipping certain gear and earning AP from battle. After maxing out abilities, they can then be equipped without the gear, thus allowing you to use better gear but retain said abilities. Ranging from passive boons such as extra health, spells to cast, and resistances to certain statuses, exploring this system is enjoyable and makes sheer grinding not a necessity, as exploiting weaknesses using these abilities is possible. Final Fantasy IX also proves another lengthy JRPG, though it doesn't feel quite as long as the previous game. Focusing on the story will keep your disc spinning for around 40 hours, but a plethora of side activities present themselves. Chocobos return, allowing players to hunt for treasure around the world map, which includes some of the best gear in the game, via chocographs. Side quests number around the dozen mark, including meeting friendly creatures and feeding them items to help them, fighting a series of monsters in the Traino weapon shop, and meeting Ragtime Mouse, with a series of questions which test your lore knowledge. Other tasks, such as using Quina to eat monsters and learn new magics, will prove a huge boon to your playtime. With Square's third effort with the PlayStation, Final Fantasy IX proves a visually stunning game. The pre-rendered backgrounds look top-notch, characters toe the line between the more realistic proportions of Final Fantasy VIII and the deep fantasy motifs of the first 6 games, and on the whole the game features some of the best 3D in the business. The monster designs, in particular, look superb, and it goes without saying, the full motion video is perhaps some of the finest the series would see. Though the flashier moments can drag performance down a little, they prove less consequential in the grand scheme of this visual splendour. The sound is equally splendid, with a plethora of tracks which delight, including maybe the best boss theme of the series. While some of the tracks are drawn from previous games, it proves more nostalgic than lazy. The sound effects are equally nostalgic, using the same bleeps which have defined the series. Final Fantasy IX's blemishes are few, but nonetheless prove noticeable. The active time event, a button prompt which allows you to swap character perspectives to see more story as well as optional scenes, doesn't prove too compelling and more disjointed than revealing. Tetramaster, a card game which seemingly serves as Triple Triad's replacement, is needlessly complex, with RNG proving hard to overcome, damage calculation being flawed, and a lack of meaningful rewards for continued play leave it more of an afterthought than the game changer Triple Triad was. And like many large-scale JRPGs, some tropes can taint certain portions of the game, such as the double whammy of final bosses, which prove lengthy to overcome and frustrating to be forced to repeat. But they feel minor in the sum total. Final Fantasy IX is a superb JRPG, one which successfully meshes old ideals with new technology. The classical setting, strong story, and timeless combat mesh excellently with the combat tweaks, stunning visuals, and expansive world. Zidane and his band of party members prove a likeable bunch, with some tender storytelling which is some of the series' best. While unlikely to convert JRPG cynics, due to how closely it leans into certain tropes of the genre, loyal fans of the series and newcomers to the genre would both find a lot to love with the 9th installment of Final Fantasy, proving both a salvo for this long-standing series and a strong JRPG in its own right.